If you've ever been to Broadstairs, there's a good chance you've strolled right through York Gate, probably on your way to Viking Bay for a paddle or heading down to the jetty with a 99 in hand. But here's a question. Have you ever actually stopped to wonder what the archway is all about? Is it just a pretty photo spot, or was it actually built for something a bit more serious? Well, today on Thanet Spark, we're diving into the story behind York Gate to find out what secrets this old stone arch has been keeping for centuries. So picture this. You're in the middle of the Broadstairs, surrounded by little cafes, gift shops, maybe the sound of a busker nearby, and right there, cutting across Harbour Street, is this old stone arch. That's York Gate, and it's more than just a shortcut to the beach. It's been standing there for hundreds of years, quietly watching Broadstairs grow from a fishing village into the postcard perfect seaside town we know today. But to really understand it, we've got to rewind, way back. Back in the 11th century, sailors used to pass this bit of coast and pray they made it around safely. The sea around here was no joke. To help protect them, spiritually at least, a shrine was built on the cliff. It was called the Shrine of Our Lady, and the area back then was known as Broadstairs, meaning broad place. That's probably referring to the wide curve of what we now call Viking Bay. Pretty soon, people started settling nearby. Fishermen, mostly drawn to the protection of the shrine and the safety of the bay. Now, getting from the beach up to the shrine wasn't easy, so around 1350, a gentleman called George Culmer is said to have had some stairs cut into the cliff. And just like that, Broadstairs got its name, literally the broad place with stairs. Fast forward a bit to 1440, and Charles's descendant, George Culmer, builds an archway across the path leading down to the sea. This is the early version of what would become York Gate. By 1460, Broadstairs had its very first wooden pier or jetty, which gave local boats a bit of shelter from the waves, and kick-started the town's role in trade and shipbuilding. But with more trade came more risk. Pirates, foreign ships, smuggling, you name it. So, in 1540, another George Culmer decided the town needed proper defences. He built a stone gate, complete with huge wooden doors and even a portcullis, like something out of a medieval castle. Now, the Culmers weren't just helpful neighbours, they were extremely rich and influential. They owned large amounts of land and even had a shipyard on the site of what's now the pavilion. Basically, if something big was happening in Broadstairs in the 1500s, the Culmers were most likely behind it. They helped shape the town, from the roads to the harbour to the gates that protected it all. By the 1700s, Broadstairs had grown into a proper little port, but it wasn't all honest work. In 1723, the famous author Daniel Defoe, of Robinson Crusoe fame, visited Broadstairs and had this to say. Broadstairs has a population of around 300, 27 of them being in the trade of fishing, and the others appear to have no means of support. I am told that the area is a hotbed of smuggling. Whether he was joking or not, it does suggest that a bit of dodgy dealing was going on. Smuggling was a real thing, and with Broadstairs' coastal location, it was the perfect spot for it. It makes you wonder, maybe those big old gates weren't just for show after all. By 1795, the original gate was looking a bit worse for wear, but luckily Sir John Henniker, later known as Lord Henniker, came to the rescue. He had it repaired, added the Kentish flagstone that's still there today, and basically gave it a much-needed facelift. There's even a plaque that says, as the stonework was fast decaying, it was repaired and beautified by Lord Henniker. And while he was at it, the gate finally got its name, York Gate, in honour of the Duke of York, the son of King George III. It was not just an arch anymore, it was now a symbol of royal pride and local identity. It still served a defensive purpose too, especially during the French Revolutionary Wars, when tensions were running high again. Eventually, the danger passed. The wooden doors and portcullis were taken down, and Yorkgate became, well, just part of the town. By the time the Victorian era rolled around, Broadstairs had reinvented itself as a holiday hotspot. Seaside air, beach huts, donkey rides, the whole vibe changed. Even Charles Dickens fell in love with the place, visiting often and writing about its charm. So the next time you walk through Yorkgate, ice cream in hand or sand between your toes, think about everything it's seen. It's not just a nice photo op, it's a survivor, a link to centuries of stories, from smugglers and sailors to kings, and eventually holidaymakers. If you enjoyed this little trip through time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps keep us going. And if there's another Thanet landmark you'd love us to dig into, drop it in the comments below. We're always up for uncovering more local history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Thanet Spark.